Onestack, an essential part of Minecraft bridging. If you want to cover horizontal and vertical distance at the same time, you will need to master this bridging method. Today, I will share my secret which got me from this to this. To explain my method to you and why it's so much easier than any other one, you need to understand how one-stacking generally works and why it is so difficult for beginners to master. In every other tutorial, one-stacking is described as the method of standing at an edge, holding Shift, S and A or D, then jump, let go of Shift, and press Shift again as fast as possible. At the same time, you have to place one block on the side of the block you were standing on before you jumped, and one block on top of that block you just placed. I bet that every beginner already forgot half of the steps, and this is completely normal because it sounds and is very complicated if you use this complex method. This is why I created a method that's way easier while maintaining the same speed. Feel free to pause the video if I am going too fast. To one-stack, you need to shift at an edge and hold S and A or D. Try to find a position where you don't move anymore. Your aim has to be at the side of the block you are standing on. Aim at the top half of the side, but don't aim too high. Your vertical aim should be at the middle of the block. The aiming is not too important, but it can help a lot if you're a beginner. Now, there are two obstacles that prevent beginners from learning how to one-stack. The first one is that you should time your jumps. Whether you time your jumps or hold down the spacebar to jump automatically might not make a difference for an experienced player, but eliminating this timing already makes this bridging method a lot easier. And that's not all. In theory, we don't need to time our clicks to place blocks either. Unfortunately, you can't just hold down your right mouse button like the spacebar. Theoretically, this is possible, but it is very hard and you can mess up easily. However, we can use a clicking method to achieve 9 clicks per second or more, which is what we need to make one-stacking easy. Before I demonstrate this method with a hand cam, I want to mention that you can also perform this technique with normal clicking, achieving 6 to 7 clicks per second. But it will be more difficult, which is why I encourage you to learn one-click butterfly. Some of you might be familiar with butterflying. For those who aren't, butterflying is a clicking method that allows you to get around 10 clicks per second with normal clicking and 20 clicks per second with double clicking. Today, you don't need to worry about double clicking, because we won't be using it. Now you can see my mouse on my hand cam. To use this method, place your index and middle finger on the mouse button you use to place blocks. The default is set to the right mouse button. If you hold the mouse in your left hand, it will look like this. And if you hold the mouse in your right hand, it will look like this. Before we begin, make sure you aren't clicking your mouse too hard, as repeatedly slamming your fingers on the mouse could damage it. However, nothing bad will happen if you are careful, since this method is just like clicking your mouse normally. To execute it, alternate clicking the button with your index finger and your middle finger. In slow motion, it will look like this. And in real time, it looks like this. Be aware that some mice can only reach a limited amount of clicks per second. So just try this method and see if you can reach 9 clicks per second. And keep in mind that every person learns one-click butterfly at a different pace. Some people can just do this clicking method right after they discover it, and others simply need more time. Before I show you my recommendation for the sneaking and unsneaking rhythm, I want to mention that I am probably not the first person to use this method, but I haven't seen it on YouTube, which is why I'm making this video. Now, we just need to learn one more thing. That is the pattern for the sneaking and unsneaking. I suggest experimenting to see which one works best for you. The two patterns I like the most are sneaking every time you go up a block and sneaking every other time for a longer period. If you can let go of your shift key and press it again quickly, I recommend sneaking and unsneaking every time. If you are slower, I recommend sneaking and unsneaking every other time. This timing is a little more difficult, but you don't need to sneak and unsneak as fast as with the other method. The advantage of that method, besides being a little bit easier to time, is that you automatically learn the timing for every other stacking method, like 2 stacking or 3 stacking. Simply try both methods and decide which one suits you best. Before the outro, I want to give you the tip of the video, which I plan to do in all my future videos. Here's the tip. If you tower up or one stack up to an opponent who is above you, consider one stacking away from the opponent. They will either have to flat bridge towards you and lose their height advantage, or one stack towards you without getting any closer. Keep in mind that your opponent can theoretically bridge up toward you without shifting, but this is very difficult and almost no one can do it. Additionally, if you master that method, you can also use it to move away from an opponent. That was the tip of the video. If you have any questions or suggestions for topics I could cover in future videos, let me know in the comments. I can't promise to make a video about everything you suggest, but I will read every comment. If you don't want to miss my future videos, subscribe and activate the bell so you get notified at my next upload. I hope you enjoyed this video and start one stacking the easy way.